Okay, in this video I'm going to narrate going down Trail 22. I was going to narrate coming up Trail 22, but it has been raining and muddy and I'm too old to try to fight it on a four-wheeler. If I was on our side-by-side, it'd be a different story. '22 is a blue trail. It's one of the main trails into the park. It is an all-vehicle trail. This means Jeeps, trucks, ATVs, side-by-sides, rock bouncers. They do maintain this trail several times a year. Just like I said, it is one of the main trails into the park to get from around the general store into the park. The other trail is Trail 2 off of Hoskins Gap Road. This trail can get kind of rowdy in spots at times when it gets rutted out or there's been a lot of rain or a lot of traffic on it. This should be in pretty good shape now. I'll say again, since it's the beginning of this video, if you don't have a side-by-side or an ATV, Windrock Park rents them. You can rent 2-seaters and 4-seaters. It's on their website, the Windrock Park. Just look it up. They also have camping facilities and camping spots and tents and tent spots and yurts and shower houses and all kinds of stuff. I also did videos on Narrated kind of up here at the campground if you want to check that out. All my Narrated videos will be on the playlist under Narrated videos. If you like to listen to people talk when they ride and that's your thing, that's where you'll find it. I tell a lot of people I'm like a squirrel on here. It's hard telling where we'll end up. I might see a nut somewhere and end up on a different path. Get down in here a ways in 22, we'll cross a creek once or twice. It's kind of pretty. Looks like that's something come loose there they're working on. Let's saw that bring up one of the things you do want to have when you come up here is at least a winch. I see a lot of people come up here with no winches on their machines in this type of terrain. It's nice to have if you need it. Another thing to have is type of recovery gears and straps, snatch blocks, different things, especially if you ride the rougher trails or farther away from the general store. Get kind of a mud hole going on there. If mud's into your thing, you'll find a couple mud holes off of 22. Got a little rock garden here. Definitely a lot rougher on an ATV than a side-by-side. we first brought this side-by-side up here, it had big old mud tires on it, spacers, so it was wider. And you get on these rocks and you couldn't hardly turn the thing. So we put the smaller tires back on it. Plus we couldn't ride the 50-inch trails with the wider tires. Here's a section I call a mud bog. If you're in the mud, that's for you right there. There's usually water in that thing all, even when it's dry. I've never seen it dried up. If you're new to this and it's your first time out here, first time on these trails, 22 is a little bit rougher than Trail 2. If you're a new beginner, I would try Trail 2 before you try Trail 22. It is, if you have any experience at all, Trail 22 should be fine. It's not undoable, it's just rougher. Used to be a real bad rock ledge through here, and they kind of took it out. Got a rock back there that's kind of popping back up after they covered it up. A lot of people ask why they took that out. Like I said, Trail 2 and Trail 22 are the main trails into the park, and everybody should be able to traverse to get in here. Some people on smaller machines or stock vehicles are having a lot of problem on that rock ledge. But if you want more technical trails or harder trails, there's plenty of black trails they don't touch those. They can't get the equipment up and down. A little rock area you can play on if you're into rock crawling. Ooh, that hurt. You also find on these trails, it's a lot easier to go down them than it is to go up it. A lot of times if we do a trail that we haven't been on or we don't know about, we'll go down it first, see how bad it is, and then we think we can turn around and go up it, we'll go back up it. Definitely want to make sure your brakes are working when you come out here to this park. A lot of these long down hills, you're on the brakes all the way down, and you want to make sure you got good brakes. It's where a lot of accidents happen. You need to bring a machine that's not been maintained out here. Then a lot of accidents because you have no brakes, your brakes get too hot or they quit. I'm still on the brake. Been on the brake ever since we started down this hill. Phew. If you're not sure where a trail goes, just take the well-beaten path. A lot of these trails will have offshoots. They'll be the gas wells or different things or dead ends. And when we first came riding up here, we weren't sure. It's like, hey, where'd the trail go? Your best advice is just to stay where it's worn the most. Most all the trails are numbered, but they're not numbered every quarter mile, so it may be a mile before you see another marker. If you just stay on it where it looks like it's been well worn, then you should be in good shape. And I talk about clothing when you come up here. A lot of people have been up here know you want to have all types of clothes. You may start off at the bottom, and it'll be 70 degrees. By the time you get to the top, it'll be 50 degrees. It'll be cold. I started out this morning, I had 2 hoodies on. My son's like, you better put them bibs on. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. And I did put them on, and I'm glad I did, because once I started getting up there, it was cold. I know 50 degrees don't sound like it's cold, but you'd be surprised how cold it feels up here on the mountain. Getting the wind and the shade and everything else. You go around the mountain, you'll find when you get out of the sun, the temperature will drop 10 degrees. Whether it's called on the sunny side or the dark side, cold side. You can't hear all my moaning and groaning on this mic. I am recording this on a COMM headset, which work great. You can pair it to your phone, you can pair it to your camera. You can talk buggy to buggy on radio, you can talk headset to headset on Bluetooth. There are just so many options for them. I looked at them and It was a year before I pulled the trigger on it. The guy was real helpful that I talked to about getting them. It's suspension armor, right COMM. Check them out. This is one of the little rock gardens before we get down to the creek crossing. Just rough on an ATV, but not undoable. Pretty little creek. If you do like trails that have creeks on it, Trail 12 is a black trail. It has a lot of, runs down a creek, crosses the creek bunch of times. I used to ride dirt bikes all the time back in the day and always wondered what it'd be like to ride one across this stuff. The old two-stroker there with the clots oil, there's nothing like that smell. All you old timers will remember clots oil and racing bikes. It's got a very distinct smell. Had a CR 500R when I was younger. You want to talk about a bike, man, I had to pull start that thing most of the time because you kick it, even with racing boots, and then steel shank in your boot. There's a gas line there. You'll see the lines every now and then coming out of the road. Uh-oh, different places. I think we can get up here out of the way. Whew. You can take a good rest anyway. Watch these guys come across. Probably had a Toyota and a Jeep. You are out here in full-size vehicles or stuff like that. It does take a lot longer to get through these trails because you can't fly through them like you can on side-by-sides. It'd still be fun. Bring your grandma's Jeep out here. A lot of people do run this trail up it. It's kind of uncommon to come down it, but it is a two-way trail. A lot of times you meet a lot of people coming up it if it's busy. Just have to find places where you can pull over and pass. We pass people on here with just inches in between. No, move forward. Stuff I go through to bring you guys these videos. I'll feel this for 3 days. like the looks of that. One thing about the mud holes in Windrock, most of them, I guess they all, I'd say probably 80–90% of them have hard bottoms in them. Back where I'm from, Illinois, you didn't dare drive off in a mud hole like that. It might be 12 feet deep. We'd have to get out and poke with sticks and throw rocks in. We were kind of leery when we got up here. We found that most of them, they're getting reverse across them because bottom's hard. Mudslides. They've had to clean up off of it. Had one, they came out and cleaned it up, and then did it again. That's just kind of how you got to do. You got to whip around people and they'll get over for you. Sometimes you got to get over for them. No, I told you wrong back there. This is where they had the mudslides. That's the problem out here. You get confused. You have two areas that look the same. That bank there slid down several times. That's why you need to have the app. When you come out here and get the Windrock map app, it's $20 a year. Push a button, tell you where you're at, give you all the trail information on it. Real easy to get think you're one place out here if you're not. So some places look the same. Oh, this trail's about to wear me out. people don't know, right there is a waterfall. They just fly right by. They haven't cleaned it out and pushed a little area over where you can sit there and watch it. That's a waterfall on 22. Got a little bit of water coming over it. Nothing like getting out in nature, just fresh air and away from the hustle and bustle. Just watching the leaves fall. And that would be my first narrated video of going down Trail 22. Now we're back to P1. Part of the bike park there, the jumps they have, which are insane. They jump off that platform up there. It's like it's nothing. It's crazy.